So I'm with the one and only gaming historian himself, and I decided let's go out of the confines of the game room and talk to Norm and get to know him, you know, in the beauty of nature. How do you like this?
Nice
This is
out here.
nice. Nice out here.
Yeah.
So I want everybody out there to really get to know you and find out who you are. So
Okay.
I'm talking to Norm. I'm not talking to the gaming historian. I'm
Talking
talking
to
to Norm.
Yep.
What makes Norm Norm?
Like to have fun, like to play video games, exercise. I mean, what do you mean exactly? What makes Norm Norm?
I guess what I mean by that is, like, do you go to bed every night and think to yourself, thank you, I'm so glad I'm handsome?
Okay.
Why did you decide to be a historian of gaming?
Historian of gaming? Because it's really simple. I like video games and I like history. I was going to college for history, so I was just like, let's combine the two. That's really all it was.
It's really that simple?
And I would watch G4 Icons, and it was like my favorite show on G4 Tech TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's what fascinated me, so I just wanted to look into it.
You know, I was watching your videos way before we actually started Game Chasers, like a couple of years before that, and wow, you were such a snot-nosed kid.
What?
You were a snot-nosed kid.
How?
Dude, you were like 14 with a bald head.
I wasn't bald.
Yeah, you were.
I had a shaved head. I had a shaved head,
man. You were
but
like,
I did look 14.
So how long have you been doing this? You've been doing this for how long now?
7 years. 2008 is when I uploaded the first.
So what you're saying is you've paid your dues.
I feel like I have, yeah.
Unlike Eric, right?
Eric's been around for a while too, though.
Yeah, but he hasn't paid his dues.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't paid his dues. Okay, so whenever you first started the Gaming Historian, you said you were inspired by things like G4 or something. Were you inspired by other videos on YouTube, or back then there obviously weren't that many like there are now?
Yeah, I mean there really wasn't anything that was video game history. Well, actually they had like game trailers, retrospectives. Actually, AVGN did some history a little bit in his videos.
Yeah,
I enjoyed those were my favorite parts of his videos when he kind of talked about where it came from and stuff.
But why history? Why is that the most interesting part of either a game or system or a franchise for you?
I don't know. I've always had a fascination with the past. Growing up, I grew up in Scotland for a few years, so we went to all the old Scottish castles and whatnot. I don't know. I'm just fascinated by history. So just seeing where it's always cool to like when a new game comes out and you're like, oh, that's cool. But then you like look into it and you're like, wow, this game was originally released like back in 1970 something, like the first version of this, and it's just cool to see the growth and the change.
When you're putting together a gaming historian video, what is the most difficult aspect of doing it?
Gathering the information and then telling a story. Because a lot of times people will fall into the trap of, here's all this information and I'm just going to throw it at you. Here, this happened, this happened, this happened. But you need to tell a story.
We were talking the other day, you went to eBay to buy a book just because there was one particular picture that you needed for an episode.
Of Hideyuki Nakajima. There's no pictures of him on the internet.
Have you ever started an episode and been like, I can't, for whatever reason, just can't finish it because you couldn't get the right information, couldn't find enough information on it?
I've shelved a lot because I feel like there's not enough here. Like I'll compare like what I have to what you can read anywhere, and I'm like, this isn't enough for me to make an episode on this.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, sometimes I imagine you get the idea in your head, I want to really do some digging and find out something about this particular subject, and then you get into it and you're like, there's nothing here, there's no meat on the bone. Yeah. So
it happens a lot, surprisingly.
It's
especially on stuff like I want to do. I'm like, oh, this would be really cool. And you look into it, you're like, okay, there's like nothing. I can't make anything out of this.
I mean, it's kind of like us when we go to the flea market, and we've never been to this flea market. It looks promising. We've heard great things about it. We go, there's nothing there. Nothing interesting happens, and it's pretty much that footage itself because it can't be used for an episode.
Yep. Same thing with me.
It's kind of the nature of what we do. Nothing's ever. Sometimes things are just not meant to be.
I think when I get comments like, this is one of the best things I've seen about video games on YouTube, or like I showed this in my class. I've got comments like people show it in their classroom to their students. Like, I think that's what makes me the most proud. when people genuinely really enjoy it and tell me they enjoy it.
I think it's important to have somebody who's really dedicated to preserving history, because a lot of times that stuff gets lost. You know, it gets lost. People,
or it gets lost, or it gets changed.
People love to change it. People will hear. I mean, you think about it. The whole Atari landfill story.
The Atari landfill, man, that's a good example. Another one is when I was doing my Smash Brothers episode, I kept reading that Smash Brothers was originally supposed to be released on the Super Nintendo. And I was like, I've never heard that. And I traced it back to some random website that you can't verify that. And then I read an interview with the people that made Smash Brothers, and they're like, oh, it was originally a project for the Nintendo 64.
Now let's get to the interesting questions.
What about Game Chasers?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Well, kind of, sort of. So this is what I'm going to call the quick fire round. I'll just ask you a series of questions, and you just name them off as they come to the top of your head.
All right.
Of the main Game Chasers crew, me, Jay, Eric, Chris, Dodongo, Melvor, and Alpha, rank from hottest to least hot.
Hottest to least hot. I'd probably put you hottest. Jay second. Jay a close second. You're just more my style, Billy. That's all.
Okay.
So it would be Billy, Jay. Is Chris really considered part of the Game Chasers crew?
At this point, yeah. I mean, he
kind of looks like you, so I'll put him third.
At this point, he shot probably about as many episodes as Dodongo.
Okay, so yeah, Chris third, Melvor fourth, Alpha Megasin fifth, Eric sixth. Oh no, I'll put Eric above Alpha. I'll put Eric.
What?
Eric's got a nice face. Eric's got a nice face.
What? Alpha's gonna be watching this video, and he's gonna go, what? What are you talking about?
Alpha's got a better body though.
Alpha's got an amazing body.
Can I do a tie?
We can do a tie.
Yeah, tie for fifth, Eric and Alpha, and then sorry Dodongo, you're last.
Well, okay. What is it about Dodongo that makes him last though? Skeevy?
No, I don't know. Just attractiveness.
When's the last time you've oiled up and hit the gym?
A few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Did you really oil up?
Didn't oil up, but I did go to the gym. I've been slacking lately because of my videos, but I hope to get back and get the oil going.
Let's do a little flex off here.
Yeah. You've been going though, right? You've been going to the gym.
I've been going, but it doesn't mean it shows.
Get when you do the tricep.
Oh yeah, the whole. Oh God, the light's my friend today. Look at that.
I need to go back to the gym.
When was the very first time you actually saw Game Chasers? Actually, I want to know that. Well, I kind of know, but I don't think they know.
I think it's when you were about to join Retroware, and so the Retroware people sent out an email and said, "Hey, we're thinking about bringing these guys onto the site. Let us know what you think."
Did they say chodes, or did they say these guys?
It's these guys.
Okay.
I don't think chode word was circulating back then. But yeah, I watched it and I thought it was awesome.
Bring the chode.
Yeah. Bring the chode.
We bring the chode.
I mean, I love American Pickers. And so it was like, wow, this is American Pickers, but with video games. And I remember there was a show, The Retro Hunters.
Retro Hunters, yeah.
And I wasn't a fan of that show. I don't know if it was like the style or what. Like I liked the idea, but I wasn't thrilled with it. But you guys really nailed, I think, what that show.
There are people. They're great guys, and they had a good show too. It depends on what your style is. 'Cause
it's not my style.
It's the same concept, but just executed different styles.
Yeah.
So some people like their style better. Some people like our style better. Some people like both styles. It's kind of like a whole, and the Retro Liberty. You know, it's all kind of like different takes on the same kind of subject matter, sort of thing.
Well, my wife loves Game Chasers. And the reason she loves Game Chasers is not because you guys look for games. It's because you guys are characters. Funny.
We're stupid.
That's the reason.
I
think that's one of the big reasons people watch this.
It's funny because, yeah, I mean,
it's not even about what games you play.
It's how we act on camera is how we act in real life with the camera off of us for as long as we've known each other.
That's very true.
It's very true because he's been experiencing it all day and years before this.
Every convention.
Every convention.
I see you at, yeah.
What's it like actually? Because you've been in some episodes. What's it like being in a Game Chasers episode? Because you were there when I traded my shirt off to that one dude. I mean, what were you thinking when all that was happening?
What the hell? I mean, everything's so random. Stuff just like randomly happens to you guys. But I mean, you guys bring it on yourselves. Like, you ask for that random stuff to happen.
It tends to follow us around for whatever reason. I think we bring that out of people somehow. We always do. Whether me and Jay are at the freaking grocery store asking the checker if she has games, and then eventually getting their numbers. I mean, which has happened.
I think it's because
not in that way. I just mean so she can give us games. But
I think it's because you guys have no shame.
We don't have any shame. Dude,
I'm gonna do this, and I don't care what happens.
We don't have any shame. I
should have paid the toll. It's only $4.
No, I did pay the $4 one.
The $6 one you did.
I would honestly say if they gave me the option and said, "Hey, pay the toll or buy a kid's lunch for the whole week," I'd buy the kids lunch for the whole week. I'd rather do that.
They need it. I mean,
they need it, but
the governor kind of screwed up Kansas.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. So. Governor's gonna be watching this. He's gonna be like, well, "I'll get you, gaming historian, if it's the last thing I do." But
all right,
thank you. Bring it on. Bring it on. It's Game Chasers and Gaming Historian versus Kansas now. I'll kick all y'all's lily asses. Not that dude though. He looks kind of small. But anyway, thank you for taking
more
time
questions.
No more questions.
No quick fire. The only quick fire question you had was who's the hottest.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any more. We did. This is improv too. I didn't write anything down. This is kind of like, hey, we decided to stop in the park and record this. But I didn't have any questions written down. So unfortunately, can you think of any more?
What did you think of me when you first met me?
What did I think of you when I first met you?
Or what were your expectations of before you're gonna? Because I always get this before, like after people meet me, they always say, "Wow, you're a lot taller than I thought you would be."
That's exactly.
Well, you don't look like I thought you would. So I just want to know what you thought.
Okay, so the first time we met you was in Vegas.
Yep.
For a Classic Gaming Expo.
Yep.
And you walked. I was actually eager to meet you because, like I said, I'd been watching your stuff and I thought you were really good. And I was like, oh yeah, I finally get to meet Norm, good old Norm. And he walks in, and I'm like, who the hell is this? This ain't Norm. This person ate Norm. What the hell's going on? And so Norm, he's about probably 2 feet taller than I thought he was going to be, and
a foot 4 feet,
and then a foot wider than I thought you were going to be. I thought you were going to be like 5 foot. Like 100 pounds or something. This little nerdy guy.
I get that all the time.
It's a sore subject too.
Yeah.
We don't like getting into sore subjects. It makes us cranky. But we don't want to be cranky. We're about to go to Bone Thugs and get our rap on.
Eat some food and go to Bone Thugs.
Yes. Eat some food and go to Bone Thugs. So let's wrap this up. I want to run around in the park with my shirt off.
There's people playing croquet over there.
Yeah, and those are the people I have my eye on to freak out. I'm gonna run right through there without my shirt on. Actually, no, really, I'm gonna do that.
It would be funny if I turn the camera around.
I'm gonna do that.